and you can earn a very good living just using your hands and your brain without a degree from a school or anything like that. Listen.
Welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast, a production from Empowering Pumps and Equipment as the voice of the pump and related equipment industries. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Charli K. Matthews Caruth, and I'm excited to be here. I am got just a wealth of, I guess, knowledge isn't the right word, of experience going out in industry and finding cool people, just because we have so many amazing partners. And this is who I'm bringing you to this week is from CPEX, one of our partners. And so, Michael, jump on here and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Michael Rice. I'm the electrical controls technician for the service department here at CPEX in Enon, Ohio.
Yeah, and this time of year I always like I'm not going north. It's too cold for me, but from Alabama. But I know that we have to be able to have equipment running all over the world. One thing, if you'll just tell everybody kind of what CPEX does and what they have there.
So CPEX is a progressive cavity pump supplier manufacturer. So we provide progressive cavity pumps for moving all types of fluids from medical, microdosing or dosing chemical pumps, all the way up to large municipal dewatering pumps and wastewater pumps. So, and anything in between that.
Yeah, and so I guess tell us a little bit about how you got into industry.
So I started out, I went to vocational school for the automotive sector, and I started right out of high school with a trucking company that I was with them for a very short period before they closed up here locally and moved their operations to major cities, which then left me unemployed as it were. So I got into the steel industry, and I was a production team leader eventually in the steel industry, also in the maintenance, equipment maintenance side of it as well. And then I ran out of room to grow there, so I started to set my sights a little bit higher to see, where I could go. And I ended up back in the automotive manufacturing sector, so OEM auto company here in Ohio. And you guys can probably guess who that is. I don't know if I can say it, but I was with them for 18 years and also did equipment service and production leadership and then equipment service there for them also until the work-life balance of that was kind of too far askew for my lifestyle. Once the kids are grown up and off on their own, it kind of doesn't make sense to work that much. So I was looking for a change, something a little bit, friendlier to the life at home balance and, working steady, but limiting all those overtime hours. And I found this IR ad for the electrical controls technician here, and I thought, that's a pretty good fit. It definitely fell into my wheelhouse of what I was doing and what I have been doing, and so I applied. And luckily, it's only 6 minutes door to door from home, so it's very convenient in its location. So that was also a plus. So that's what landed me here at CPEX.
Yeah, and I think it's really, I love that you touched on it, that we do change as we go through different goals, different family responsibilities, different care. And then, I always say I wish I could do the things I did in my 20s, but I was just faster at everything. But we can still do them. We just might be a little bit slower at some
Takes
things.
a little bit more time, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I love that, and I want to know a little bit more about kind of your role there. My first kind of thinking of CPACs and pumps and progressive cavity pumps. I didn't understand the electrical part. So, are you more on the service side? And tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, um, we have not only providing CPEX not only provides the pump itself, but also control mechanisms and things like that. So whether it be a VFD to power the pump's motor or um, temperature sensing equipment like temperature sensing equipment, pressure sensing equipment, and then um, into our laser cake pump controls. So we have touch panels. We have our own proprietary controller to control our large cake pumps with lasers. Um, and I am the only one currently in the United States that does the startups for these systems, the laser cake pumps. So that ends up taking me out travel wise to do a lot of these cake pump startups with the lasers and so on. And then we've been developing this new product. It's more prevalent in Europe right now, but we have a new product here, the smart air injection system, which basically goes on the end of one of our large frame cake pumps to move um, highly viscous product through piping and to reduce pipe pressure and therefore wear and things like that on the pump that will kind of degrade its performance rapidly. So CPEX Germany developed this system, and then now we're employing and installing more and more of those here in the United States. So I was tasked to start doing the startups for these as well in the US. So I think we have maybe two or three that are coming up a little later in this year in
It
the
sounds
United States.
like that you need to get you a apprentice or a mentor, someone to come alongside you and gain some of that knowledge. I know it sounds easier said than done.
I need a protege for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, as we do that and y'all grow and everything, how do you stay motivated?
Just I think my motivation really it, everything that you do daily, you should probably learn something. You know, you should take something away from what you do every day, regardless if it's you know your necessarily your role of what your job is. Hence, what we're doing here today. You know, this is not my typical day by any means. Um, so learning and doing new things, and then the motivation to continue to try to strive to do that, to learn. Even I'm almost 50 years old now, but so learning new things and then applying them and being able to converse. Like my fiance is my biggest cheerleader as far as my growth at work and even at home and learning and doing things. She's my biggest champion. So she definitely pushes me along to try to be that next better person that I can be, and then applying it, technically here at work and at home. So
Yeah, it's so wonderful to have a spouse that sends you uplifting words and encouragement. It makes all the difference. It makes you not mind having to work hard because you're working for the family. I know that's true for a lot of people, especially in the trades and service departments, and really just the hard work, I'll say.
yeah,
It gives you like extra drive to do that. So thank you for all those encouraging people out there. We appreciate that, and just knowing that the work has to be done, right? And so being able to grow and learn and bring people along beside us. It does take some learning. Thank you for jumping on the podcast and learning. It's one of those things that I like to be on here when it's somebody's first podcast. I wasn't sure. Was it your first podcast to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. Hopefully I didn't make it too painful for
Oh,
you.
no, not at all.
Well, good. Well, good. Was there anything else just as we've been talking that you want to make sure that our listeners know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said at the beginning, I went to a vocational school to learn a trade, and I think that's not necessarily in our day and age that's really pushed to the kids in school now is that they think they need to go to college and get a degree and all of these things. And I'll be the first to say that it is a lot of hard work, but being good with the two things that God gave you to be able to use, and this right here can get you a long way in life, and you can earn a very good living just using your hands and your brain without a degree from a school or anything like that. Listening to your elders and absorbing and not being that person that says, I know, I know, I know, because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't listen, you're never gonna know. So I've lived that way, my whole life. My dad taught me if you're not gonna get a higher education, you need to be the best at your field. So, and whether that means that you are or you aren't, you continue to try to work to that. If you think you are, but you're kind of closed-minded, more than likely you're not. But if you're open-minded and you think that, you're doing the best that you can do today and tomorrow, because you're open-minded, you'll learn a little bit and you'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that. And I think, you know, being the expert here of the person who's the startup guy for the cake pumps, I think you're up there. You're up there as one of the best in your field. So congratulations there.
Well,
Um,
thank
One thing I want to do before I let you go is a little rapid fire. It's fun for me. What is your favorite book?
you. Oh, my favorite book. Wow, that's tough. Um, Probably like Stephen King's It.
Yeah. Okay. Suspense. He likes the
Yeah,
suspense. What about
yeah.
music? What's your jams?
Oh gosh, I'm all over the spectrum on music. I like a lot of things, but I kind of harken back a lot to my grandfather, which I could probably just say that he's probably the major driving force behind all of this. His what he did in his younger days, which now I've kind of moved into that same realm where he was, 70 years ago, but definitely nowadays listening to the music that he listened to when I was very, very little. So, early 60s and 70s country music to, you know, everybody loves Credence and Fleetwood Mac. You can't go wrong there, right?
Right, that's right. What about okay, what is the best advice you've ever received?
Um, the best advice I've ever received is from my dad. He said, if you're going to dig holes for a living, be the best hole digger there is.
Yep.
And you can apply that any way you want to. It never never thought that oh, I'm going to dig holes one day. Also, I was never in school. In elementary school, you don't hear any kids stand up and say they want to rebuild pumps for a living, or you know what I mean. It's just not something that you hear. But here I am, and trying to be the best that I can be at what I do, and
I love that. And you've already answered this question so many times through our call, but what if you were talking to a young person coming into the pump industry, what would you tell them?
um, I would tell them to uh, first start looking at using these two things right here and learning how things work. Not necessarily if you can understand it completely, but if you see something and you're curious, let your curiosity take you wherever and start taking things apart and see if your brain can figure out how things work and how they go back together and try to immerse yourself with older people that are maybe from opposite ends of the spectrum of like if you took pumps, for instance, you take a person that does pump repair and then a person that does pump sales or something like that, or even if it's automotive related, but you try to fill the voids in your head with information from all these people and read as much as you can up on it and don't allow somebody to just tell you every answer is in a book because it's not. So definitely doing is a very good learning tool. Putting your hands to use will get you pretty far in life.
Yeah, I agree. We every time I get to use a power tool or kind of take the pump apart a little bit and put the impeller back on, things like this, you get more comfortable with it. You are just your hands and your brain talk, like you said. It's like they're like, oh, I know how to do this, and it
Yeah,
doesn't feel as uncomfortable. So
it's
I do encourage people to do that too.
yeah, it's like if you like watching crime shows and things like that, or investigative this or that. And your brain's constantly working, trying to work through the problem to figure out, the solution or the end of that problem. And the pump service industry is no different than that. You start taking apart a pump and looking at it, and your brain starts to think of how things have happened in sequence to cause whatever the issue is that you're dealing with. And it's very rewarding, to be able to come up with the or using the end result to come up with the mode that caused something to fail, and you were never there, you didn't hear it, you didn't see it, you're just looking at the aftermath of it and you can figure it out. It's very rewarding to do that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I love that. And I love how that kind of the mystery ties back into the pump industry. That's great. Well, Michael, I could talk to you for a while. I love it. And I want people to be able to reach out to you if they have more questions or if they have more questions about CPEX, where should they go?
So if you need to reach out to me here at CPEX, you can always email me. My email address is Michael, Michael .rice, RICE, at irco.com. I respond to emails all day long if I can. So if you have any questions or information or need information, I'm definitely open to try to help whoever I can with that. And once you get a hold of me through my email, then, in my email signature is my work cell. You can obviously contact me there. My number is 937-613-6832 for my work cell. If it's urgent and an email is too long, just give me a call.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Michael, and everybody else. Share this episode. It's so inspiring and just exciting to be able to work on all these different industries. There's so many opportunities for us in the trades and beyond. And just thank you for your time. And so, y'all, until next time, be empowering.
Thank you.